Hi everyone, it's Leon Papkoff here with the CXApp. Today I wanted to do a deep dive on how we kind of manage spaces in the Smart Campus app. This can be things like conference rooms and especially desks. Desks right now are very popular as many companies are trying to return back into the office space itself. And we have some very innovative technology that is helping many of the world's largest companies provide a safer return to the office. So we're going to go ahead and dive in here. You can see on my phone screen right now, I have a number of different app icons. These are a lot of our different customers. One of the things that we do in the space that really differentiates us is branding the actual app for our customers. So this is one way to really allow a higher level of engagement with your employees. Having that branded element makes it a lot easier for people to connect directly with your organization. So to start off here, I want to show you a couple things around conference rooms. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to poke around into a couple different apps for you today so you can see some different features and different options. Each one of our customers actually deploys their app a little bit differently. But today we're going to start off in our own campus app. We actually use our own campus app for our own employees. You'll see here on the main screen, our organization has 3 different campuses around the world. So we have our headquarters in Pleasanton, California. We have an office in the Philippines, and we have another office in China, just outside of Macau. And so one of the things that the mobile app does is it is location aware. So you'll see that little green dot there. The app will ask you if you want to make a certain campus your main or primary campus based on that location, and then it will move it to the top of the list. So if you're an organization that has over 90 campuses that are all listed here, you do have the ability to go into a campus. Maybe I'm traveling to our Chuhai campus next week and I want to book a desk or a campus, or excuse me, a conference room. You're able to easily do that by clicking in there and booking that ahead of schedule, which makes it a lot more convenient for you. If you do have a very long list of campuses, you can easily click on the magnifying glass up here. You can type in a city name, a country name, and you're going to get a return back of all the availability there. And then you can again go into that campus and actually book whatever your needs are. So it makes it real easy to find the campus in a certain city or a certain country that you are located in. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the Pleasanton campus. And one of the first things I want to show you is when I click on the spaces area, you'll see that we're going to load our current office floor right now. There's a number of things I want to highlight here. So the first thing at the very top, you'll see that we're at Friday, October 16th, and we are looking at the current floor. Anything that is in green is bookable space. Anything that's in gray is completely deactivated right now for social distancing purposes in mind. And anything in red is currently booked right now and has a reservation on it by another individual or another employee in the organization. On the left side here, you can see we're controlling capacity limits, and you have the ability to control these capacity limits per floor, per building, per campus, globally. So you can use one platform that allows you to control all that information, and that's our platform. Now, what you're seeing here is right now we're at a 50% floor capacity. And again, that is highlighted based on the fact that we've deactivated a number of desks and rooms. You're seeing that there's a total of 9 desks that are available to book, 2 of which are currently booked, and those are the ones in red there. Okay. So real quick, I wanted to show you how we do conference rooms so you're able to see that in real time here. Now to help illustrate this, I'm going to bring in my calendar so that you can actually see the specific room itself. And let me just slide my phone over here, and then I'm going to bring in my calendar here, and we're actually going to book a conference room on October 17th. Now that is a Saturday, but because I don't want to disrupt any of the conference rooms that are currently happening right now. So in order to book a conference room on Saturday, I'm just going to go hit custom time frame here. I'm going to go ahead and select Saturday the 17th, and I'll hit done here, and then I can see availability. You can see right now by adjusting that time frame, no desks are booked, but I am going to look at booking a conference room right now. So let's go ahead and look at this conference room right here. When I select that room, one of the things you'll see very nicely, a picture of the room. You're going to see the location of that room, any amenities that are in that room. Amenities have been very, very popular for conference rooms. So you can see if there's a screen in the room, any Apple TVs that are set up, if it's a Zoom room or not, things like that that are going to be important. And you may have seen that we're loading real-time sensor information for that room as well. So there is a sensor mounted in the ceiling of this room where we can see total occupancy, temperature, noise level, lighting, and even CO2 levels. And then since we have a native integration with Microsoft Exchange, the G Suite, multiple other calendaring systems, you'll see in real time when I do a booking here, I'm going to go ahead and click 60 minutes here. You'll see again the room. We're going to go through a booking process now. You can name your meeting. You can type in a description of your meeting. You can add in a Google Meet. But just so you know, we've also done integrations with WebEx, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, GoToMeeting, you name it. We've done those integrations with all the virtual meeting platforms. So you can easily add a meeting link to it. And you can also invite other individuals to the meeting as well. So if I want to look for people in the employee directory, the app is fully integrated in with the employee directory. So you can type in a first name, a last name, or a combination of those. Do a quick search. You're going to find that employee directory, add them into the meeting. If I want to add another individual, I can go back in and type in another individual here. So let me go ahead and add in Sky, and then you'll be able to find that individual and add them in. So it's directly integrated in with your employee directory in the organization. Now, when I hit book it, I want you to see how fast we're integrated in with, we use the G Suite system in our company, but as I mentioned before, we're also integrated in with Microsoft Exchange as well as the Office 365 platform. So any of those platforms we can integrate in real time. I'll go ahead and hit book it, and you'll see pretty quickly that meeting popped up right on my calendar. That's how fast that process works. It's a real-time integration with that calendar, and you can see very quickly, you even see the room number and all that information directly on the calendar. Now, the other thing that you'll see here is in our meetings area, you'll see that booking itself. As soon as I click on Saturday, October 17th, there it is. And now I want to highlight how we do location services in the app. So when I hit directions, you'll see it's going to highlight that particular conference room on the map. I can actually zoom out and get some context. Now that blue dot right here, that's actually me, where I'm standing and where I'm located. And we do that by laying out beacons throughout the floor plan of the office space. So if I hit directions now, it's going to draw a line, and as I'm walking, that blue dot will follow me, just like Google Maps work outdoors. So it's a really nice integrated approach to actually managing how mapping works inside of a building. A lot of customers really like this because then they don't have employees wandering around, walking in different areas. And we can also control how the routing works for social distancing purposes as well. So if you wanted employees to walk this direction to get to these rooms and this direction in this hallway corridor to get to the other rooms, we can control routing so that you can prevent employees crossing paths too much during your office space itself, which can be very convenient. So that's basically our conference rooms. I'm going to go back out to the main dock of my phone, and now we're going to go into into desks and desk scheduling, and that's where we're going to spend a majority of our time on today. So in order to illustrate that, I'm going to show you a couple different apps, but I'm going to use one of our customers called Edwards Life Sciences. They have a very large campus in Irvine, California. Let's go ahead and go directly into their campus app here. This campus is in the middle of deployment. We're going to have over 18 buildings deployed for this campus. Right now, they have 3 buildings deployed and 4 floors. It's a very fast scale out for this particular customer, but they're using the desks actively right now. This customer is in the medical device industry, so they have essential workers in place. In fact, we have a number of customers that have been using our desk platform now for a number of months, as they do have essential workers in the office space right now. And that's really allowing us to pivot and adjust a number of use cases that are COVID related. And that's been very, very helpful to have customers that are essential workers. So let's go ahead into the spaces area. And when we load the spaces area, very similar to what you saw with us, this is one of their larger buildings that you're seeing here, and we're highlighted on one of the floors. Again, we have our capacity limits that are being shown here. They're at a 77% capacity limit on this floor. They have over 13 desks that are available here, and 4 of which are currently booked. Those are the ones that are showing up in red here, so you can see those. Now, I do have the ability to zero in on those desks. This is a real-time map now. And the other thing I wanted to emphasize is everything we do with desk booking is 100% native. It's all 100% native in our platform. It does not require any integrations with any other systems. In fact, this other tab here in my browser is our desk management system, which I'm gonna demo for you guys as well as part of this demonstration. So you can see a lot of the desks are currently active. The ones that are in green are bookable. The ones in red already are booked. And then the ones that are in white or gray are currently inactive right now. So in order to highlight how easy it is to book a desk, again, I can zoom in on that desk. Let's go ahead and select this desk here. I can select that desk, and you'll see here, you're going to see a number of images associated with the desk. So you have a good idea of what the desk is going to look like, the location again, amenities on desks, and then the ability to book it for the day. Now, I will tell you, amenities, very, very important with desks. Same with the visual. People want to see a visual of the desk. They want to be able to book the desk in relation to the map, because they want to know, let's back out here, they want to know if there's a hallway next to the desk. Sometimes they don't want it to be in a crowded area. They may want to book a desk over here where it's not as crowded, or over here where it's not as crowded as well. They may not want to book this desk here because someone else has already booked a desk here. So they want basically the ability to see things visually on the map itself. And so I'm going to go ahead and zero in on, let's go ahead and continue to use this desk here. The amenities, also very important when booking desks. They want to see if there's a docking station there, if there is a desk phone, is there dual monitors set up? And the other amenity that's been very popular is a height adjustable desks. In many organizations, they don't have height adjustable desks for every desk available. So those things are also very important. And the last thing I will tell you is that our platform has many capabilities around scheduling. We're going to get more into. You can book desks hourly. You can book desks multiple days in a row, or you can confine it to just one entire day. With many companies right now dealing with COVID and trying to provide a safe return back into the office space, most customers are doing a desk booking for the entire day. And this is really enabling a cleaning crew to come in each night now and do a deeper cleaning on all the desks that were actually booked for that day. So I'm going to go ahead and book this desk by clicking the button. Instantly, we jump over to what we would call a desk receipt. The desk receipt is a way for security to know you have a booking. So when you walk into the building, they know that you actually have a booking in place. You're able to show this screen to any security individuals that are there. We also have the ability, if you want to, it's optional, to connect this with door access, so you can get door access to the building or the particular floor. We also are doing this for laboratories as well, so it does connect with third-party door access systems also. Clicking directions will zero in directly on that particular desk, highlight that desk on the map, and then if I hit go, this is actually an integration with our great partner in Piction, which will highlight wayfinding. So not the blue dot, but actual wayfinding. Now, Piction also does the blue dot, but I want to illustrate how well the wayfinding works. So what I did is selected where I'm starting from, and you can see really nicely it drew a map directly of how to get to that desk. And you can see at the very top, as I'm walking, it will highlight the different turns that I need to make to get directly to that desk location. So our platform has the ability to index all of the desks in the entire organization and then provide either wayfinding or real-time blue dot directions directly to that desk location. So very easy to get to that desk and not have employees wandering around looking for that particular desk itself. Okay, now since we have a desk booking for today, that's a very common use case. The other very common use case, if I go back to the availability map, you'll see that desk is now shown in red. Again, this is all native in our platform, does not require any integrations with other platforms. I'm going to show you now the other very common use case, which is booking a desk in the future. So let's say I want to go into the office next week. I can click on the custom time frame. I can go ahead and select a time. And let's say I'm going to go into the office next Thursday, October 22nd, and I'm going to head into the office around 8 a.m. Let's go ahead and hit done. Now I'm going to click on See Availability, and you'll see the map will instantly change to what the configuration is for that day, what reservations are currently in place by other employees. Now I may not want, or now you can see I can't book that same desk that I had booked today because it's already reserved by someone else. So let's say I want to book a different desk. I'm going to go ahead and put this desk down here because that's away from everyone else. I want more of a quiet area while I'm in the space. I'm going to book this desk down here. So again, I can select the desk. You're going to see a visual of that desk there, so you can see you're kind of back to back with another individual. The amenities all check out for me because I do like the dual monitors there, and I do like to stand occasionally during the day. You'll see this button now has changed to be the date that I'm actually booking, so Thursday, October 22nd. So I'm going to go ahead and book that. And again, we'll get a desk receipt. We'll bounce up here. So now you can see I have the receipt for today, and then I can toggle over to my receipt for the 22nd. And so that way I have all those desk reservations and receipts in place. I have my locked in reservation in place, and people cannot remove that reservation away from me as an employee. Now, if I wanted to cancel that last minute, let's say something came up for me during the week, I'm not able to make it into the office, I can quickly cancel that desk by just hitting cancel. It'll ask me to confirm that cancellation. And then if I go ahead and do confirm that cancellation, it will remove it out of the system and put it back in the queue for anyone else to book that day. Okay, so it's a really nice way to manage that. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this one as well for today. So again, that desk will be added back into the queue for anyone else to book. And now you can see I have no current reservations in place. So that's all 100% native. If I go back to the availability map, again, you can manage this process for all of the customers that you have on any floor that you deploy our native desk application in, any building and any campus globally. And that's all done through this back-end system here that I'm going to demo right now for you. Before we do that though, I want to show you also how you can toggle between different buildings and different floors. On the map here, let me go ahead and zoom out, and I'm going to go back to today by clicking on the today button here, and we'll zero in on today. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on this button here, which manages the different buildings and floors. Let's click there. So you can see right now we're on the link building, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a building that they have not opened up to all employees yet, but it's going to allow me to demo a couple other things for you today. So this is a much larger building. You can see they're not currently using desks today. There is someone actively using the conference room. You can see right here. One of the things I want to highlight right here is all the desk options here. You can see they have this is at what a floor would look like at 100% capacity. There's 171 desks available, and 0 of them are booked right now. Okay, so let's go ahead into our content management system, and this is how you will manage all of your desks. So I'm just going to make the browser a little bit bigger here. Let me slide this over, and we'll get a much better view of this. Okay, so we're in our desk manager here. You see we have the ability to manage our buildings, desks, floors, neighborhoods, and we can assign specific rules. We also have a navigational element here. This first dashboard, you're able to see all the different desks. This current customer has deployed over 332 desks out of 2,600 licenses that are currently available for them right now. And so we're going to go and look at this. This will show you how many desks, floors that are currently deployed for this customer. So first thing, let's go into how we manage buildings. So when you go into the buildings area of the dashboard, you'll see that they've currently deployed 3 different buildings, and they currently only have 1 floor in the Alton building, another floor in the Link building, and then we have 2 floors in this last building. You can see how many desks they currently have deployed for each one of these buildings. The last time it was modified. And then we have some actionable items here, so we can edit this particular building, or we can actually remove the building if we wanted to. And of course there's error checking in here, so you're not going to make a mistake. If I were to click on the edit of the Alton building, you'll see this is where you'll be able to enter a name, an address for the building. You're going to be able to put in the location of the building, the address location. There is a building ID, and then we also will punch in GPS coordinates for the building as well, which allows us to do other actionable items as part of the platform itself. And then you'll be able to save that information, obviously. You can also add new buildings by clicking this button, and you would start off with a fresh template. And it's really that easy to add a building. Let's go into managing floors now. So when you're at the floor level, you have the ability to look at each floor. And of course, there's a searchable box here as well, as you'll probably add a number of different floors across your global organization. So it makes it very easy to find particular floors. You'll see which floors are attached to which buildings, how many desks are available on each floor. And then you can make floors active or inactive. And this can be very helpful as your company is expanding. You may open up a floor and want to start managing the desks and controlling the desks. And you may be in the middle of uploading maps and things like that. And maybe you don't want it to be active as of yet, so employees will not see it in the app itself, but you want to continue to manage. The facilities team is still building that out, so you can actually make it inactive while you're doing that, which can be very helpful for you. Again, you'll have last modified, and then we'll have actionable items here. So if I were to click on this one, you'll see when you do build a floor out, you're going to name the floor. You would assign it to any of the buildings that are pre-built from the manager before that. Square footage, the external ID for that. If it is active or inactive, you also have the ability to upload the map itself. This is actually the current map we're looking at. And it's really just an SVG file, so very easy to upload and manage. And then you'll be able to save that floor in there. And of course, you can add a brand new floor as well. Now let's talk about neighborhoods a little bit. So there's a lot of power in neighborhoods. This particular customer hasn't set up a neighborhood, so I'm going to kind of talk to how that actually works. Our system has very advanced features in making certain neighborhoods restricted or available for some employees to book and not available for other employees to book. So for example, here on the map, you may see a block of desks. Let me go ahead and zero in on this block of desks here. Let's just say, for example, that this block of desks right here is only going to be set up for the marketing department. Well, that's very easy. You can create a neighborhood called the marketing department, and then you can go into all those desks and make them only available for the marketing department itself. So that's a way we control restrictions and how we actually use neighborhoods. Now you can make neighborhoods much broader than that. You can make them over an entire floor or over multiple buildings, or you can create other neighborhoods across the organization to make it a lot easier to control who books that. This can be very helpful with your capacity limits. Say, for example, you want to set up a situation where you're only at a 20% rollback, but you always want to have at least a certain amount of desks for certain departments in certain neighborhoods. You can actually set up all of that and control that in our application. And again, all of this is completely native, so it doesn't require any integrations with any other organizations or third-party software to be able to manage this. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to the desks. And this is probably the deepest, most control that we have in the platform that allows you to configure different elements itself. To really highlight a lot of different things, I'm going to go up to the very top here of the floor. I'm going to zero in on this one desk we have here in the very right corner here to kind of highlight a couple different things that we've done with this particular desk. You can see this desk's ID is AA2083C. So to find that desk in the system, you can just simply type it in here really easily. Here we go, and do a quick search. And you can see we found that desk right here. Clicking on the edit will give us the ability to see all the attributes assigned to that desk and the controls we have around that. Before that, though, I want to mention that when you're adding desks to your organization, there's a number of different ways to do this. One is that you can import a giant CSV file of desks. So if you need to import 7,000 desks, you can easily create that in a spreadsheet first and then import them into the system. And so it's a very easy import into our platform, and it will configure everything according to that spreadsheet. So that's a really easy way. If you just need to add a few desks on the fly, you can just go in and add a desk, and then you'll be able to do that as well. Now, to really illustrate how this works, I'm going to go into the edit area so that you can see that. Oh, one last thing, sorry. If you did create a desk and you just want to duplicate that configuration and all the attributes, we do have a duplicate button as well. And so if you did add one desk, you like that configuration, you're in the middle of building a neighborhood out, you can build one desk and then you just hit duplicate. If I hit duplicate here, you'll see all I have to do is change the name of the desk, and you can do that over and over again. And so it allows you to build out those configurations a little bit faster. We try to make our systems a lot easier from a management and an automation standpoint. Let's go ahead and click into this particular desk. You'll see the desk number, the building it's assigned to, the floor it's assigned to. If it is part of the neighborhood we've created, you can assign it to a neighborhood. You'll see the visual image. So if I go back over to the mobile app here, let me go ahead and click on that desk so you can see the visual images do match. There is a external desk ID, and then these coordinate points here are how we know where this desk is placed on the actual map itself. And this is something that we will train you so you can configure that yourself. And then we also have the ability to make it an active or inactive desk. You will also see the ability to add any amenities to the desk. So all these amenities right here will match the amenities that we have here. And you can even add in other amenities on the fly by just selecting another amenity, and then it will add that amenity on the fly as well. So wireless charging. So to continue on the list, we also have integrations. These are optional, but integrations with sensor companies. So one of the great partners we work quite a bit with is a company called Realogics. They build an occupancy sensor, so you can mount an occupancy sensor to each desk. So we have that fully integrated in here as well. And that way, if there's someone sitting at the desk, it will actually show up on the map here. It will show up as yellow, showing occupancy. Now, if they've booked a desk, it doesn't require a sensor, and that would show up as red. And then obviously a desk that's unbooked shows up as green, and then a desk that's been deactivated will show up as gray. Now, if it's booked and occupied, it'll show up as yellow with a red line around the border of it. So it allows you to know it's occupied and it's booked itself. And so that is an optional item that can be added later. We have many customers that use occupancy sensors and many customers that don't use occupancy sensors. They just simply use a book or available. We also have the ability to do a auto check-in and auto release of the desk. This can be very advantageous for customers that need to control the capacity, also need to control the efficiency of the desk. So this way you're getting much higher metrics on your space utilization for your floor, your building, and your overall campus. And how we do that is we actually can set up a beacon in the area of desks where one beacon can actually cover about a 30-foot or a 20-meter, around that area of a radius of desks. And what would happen is you can set this timer to be 60 minutes, 2 hours, but the way it works is if I book a desk and I don't show up to that booking after 60 minutes, 2 hours of the day that I've booked that desk at, then the system will automatically release the desk and put it back in the pool so any employee can book it. And this is a way we keep those efficiency numbers up really high. And by the way, we also are doing this in conference rooms. So if I were to book a conference room and I don't show up for maybe 15 minutes after the meeting starts, it will automatically release the room. These are very important features to have in today's world, especially with COVID in the space, as a lot of companies are trying to manage efficiency better, and they do realize that in some cases employees may change their mind last minute. Now, this will not only check you in to the desk, but it will also prevent it from auto-releasing the desk as well. Now, we do this versus doing a manual check-in. If you require a manual check-in, then we've noticed, because we've deployed this with a number of customers, unfortunately, employees just forget to do a manual check-in. So this is a great way to manage that and automate the process for you. Keeps your efficiency much higher in the organization. Okay, then we also have the ability to control how that desk is booked. Earlier I mentioned you can set them up daily, hourly, or multiple days in a row. This particular desk, and a lot of our clients are doing them daily right now with COVID in the space. This allows your cleaning crew to know exactly the desks to come in and clean at the end of each day, so it can be very helpful. We also have control limits on how far in the future employees can book desks. So if you don't want to allow employees to book desks past 30 days in the future, you can put a limit on that as well. You can make this whatever number you'd want it to be. Okay, so these are all the basic configurations for a desk. And the next thing I want to cover is what we would call very, very much advanced rules in the desk. And this is another piece. It's 100% native in our platform, does not require any other integrations, but what it does allow us to do is control a lot of information in the platform that can be more advanced in controlling who has the ability to book which desks. So if I click on the rules area, this is where you can make desks available or restricted from certain people in the organization, entitlement groups, or specific individuals. So for example, let's say there's a group of desks that you only want a group of people to actually be able to book, or it could be an assigned desk. So only one employee in the organization can book this one desk. Well, that's where you can actually select their name. And since our application has the ability to integrate with your Active Directory, we also have the ability to integrate with Workday. We also have the ability to integrate with any type of employee file system you may have in your organization. We have the ability to pull down employee information that will be which department are they in, what is their job title. And based on that information, we can control entitlement groups. So our platform will pre-build and configure different employee groups. So if we go back to the use case I was talking before, where maybe only the marketing department can book a desk in this neighborhood, the system will automatically create a marketing department because we know that group of employees are in the marketing department, and then assign that they only can book these desks. So when I log into the app, if I'm in the marketing department, that group of desks are going to show up as green. If I log into the app and I'm not in the marketing department, let's say I'm in the IT department, that group of desks are going to show up as gray. So they're not bookable for me based upon the group that I'm in. Now, we do update that information nightly, and this is very helpful. So as individuals in the company leave the organization and new individuals get added in, new hires get added into the organization, that is a completely automated process for you. So it works really, really well. It also will manage if an employee moves from one department to another department also. So again, this is 100% automated. Now, we also have the ability to manually create groups. Let's say right now that you want to select a group of 30 individuals that are going to be called essential workers. It's maybe your first wave of bringing employees back in the space. We can also manage that where you can create a custom group that you can then assign individual employees to that custom group, and you can call that maybe essential workers or whatever you may want to. So you have the ability of doing manual groups as well. And then of course, specific individuals you can also assign into the rules. All right, the next thing is which people or groups of people can book desks certain days of the week. This has also been a very popular and demanded item. So the way this can work is, let's say you take all of your employees and you divide them up into 3 groups of employees, a group A, a group B, a group C. Let's say, for example, group A employees can book desks on a particular floor or particular building on Mondays and Wednesdays, and group B can book desks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then let's say the group C individuals can book desks on those days as well, but only on a swing shift time frame, okay, or in the middle of the night. Maybe people work overnight. And on Fridays, you will allow group A, group B, and group C to book at any time during the day. So that's where this configuration will allow you to control specific days, any days, and specific times that you allow these groups that you've created here be able to book this set of desks. And so again, restricting those desks and allowing for the booking by specific groups of people. Okay, so this gets pretty in depth, but everything I'm talking about is all native in our system and really gives you the flexibility of controlling pretty advanced desk configuration and rules around the desk itself. All right, so I want to show you how real-time this application is. So as you remember, we've zeroed in on this one desk in the upper right corner here. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate this desk, and let's go down here and hit save. And you'll see we get a little success sign here on a change I've made. Now on the mobile app, if I just refresh this screen, I'm going to click on the search box here, go back to the availability map. You'll see that it's going to update, and since it's been deactivated now, it's showing up as gray. Okay. Now the other thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make it active again. So let's go back in there, and we'll just go ahead and make it active again. And let's click save, and then let's go ahead and refresh the screen so any employee that's using the app now can book it. And again, if we click in here, you'll see all the information there available for that desk as well. And actually, if I pop all the way out, go back in here, let me go toggle to that desk itself again. You'll see here, let me zero in here, back to that desk, click on it, and now you see the wireless charging there that we added as that amenity. So you may remember that amenity that was added here. So you can see that. And if I want to remove the amenity, I can deselect it. Whoops, I forgot to hit save. So I can deselect that amenity, scroll down, hit save, and then basically that will be removed the next time I refresh the screen. Okay, so that's it. I wanted to, again, walk you guys through a more in-depth demo of our desk booking application. I wanted to highlight also how we're doing conference rooms themselves. I really hope you like the application. Again, the desk piece of the application is 100% native to our platform, but it really allows facility teams to control their global organization. So any campus, any building, any floor, and any desk across the entire organization, all within our platform itself. My name is Leon Papkoff with the CXApp. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you with any questions, best practices that you may have for your organization. Thanks again for your time today.